Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Hey, CB, Hugo Homestead. Hey, Lisa Colovi. Hey, Gwen Broke Cowgirl Homestead. Hey, Sarah Rising Swine. Hope you guys are all doing well. Gwen says, my day has been pretty uneventful, too hot out, so I stayed indoors nearly all day. Good for you. Ugh, it's been a wild 24 hours. Not the end of the world by any means, just annoying. Um, so we ended up last night, my rooster went walking past me and I noticed something didn't look right with his feet, right where his leg meets his foot. And it looked like he has scaly leg mites. So we dipped him for 10 minutes last night in the medication we have and put bag balm on him. And we were going to do the whole coop today and treat everybody else. But that didn't work out. So it's just frustrating. So we ended up waking up to no water, and Ryan went out to try and fix it, and he replaced a couple parts, and that's not it either. So we're going to be without water for the weekend because no plumbers have called us back. Hey, Craig, good evening. So that's frustrating because we called first thing this morning. But thank goodness for hauled water because all the critters are good, and I even showered in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt by the back of the truck, so that worked out. Yeah, bag balm is really good. It's got the antibiotic properties that I like about it. Um, they had suggested using Vaseline, but I didn't have any that I could find, so I used bag balm. So it worked out really well. So I got that all taken care of. But now that we didn't have water, we're gonna have to see if we can. We got a load of water, and we're hoping that we can hook it up to the pressure washer and get enough pressure to clean the coop. To pressure wash it and then disinfect it and then spray it with the stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Again, not the end of the world, but maddening nonetheless. And the piglets are due to go home to their new homes in about 12 days, 11 days. And so tomorrow, first thing, we need to get them away from mama and wean them for the week. And we will set them up with a little, like a dog crate, but it's one of those hard plastic ones, and cover it really well so they stay dry, but they'll have an electric fence right in front of the house. So that way we can keep an eye on them and they won't be getting out through the fence like they usually do. Hey, Annie, our urban homestead. Hope you're doing well. You guys should be coming up on spring about now in your neck of the woods because winter is pretty short by you. But yeah, they had forecasted 40s for tonight, but then I saw the weather guy post something about he wouldn't be surprised if we were in the 30s tonight, and I'm not covering anything at this point. Yeah, I'm glad we got homes for them too, but we will miss them. We will miss them too. They've been really a lot of fun, those two. They're so independent and pretty funny. But the good news is only having two. I had somebody on a wait list and I didn't even have to advertise this year. They were sold from day one. So that's really great. That's what you want. So that made it easy. And if she backed out, we were prepared to keep those two and raise them. We were hoping for more, but it didn't work, and that's the way it goes. Hey, Spartman, you're here. You're here. I think you're here. So yeah, just been a wild 24 hours of trying to get things done and not being able to get them done, which is frustrating. And then hopefully tomorrow we'll get it done. No, they don't look big enough to act all independent. They're very adventurous, they're curious, and they're independent to a point. Like they know that they can go out by Fiona and they're safe. So that's why they do it. They have a whole place they could run around in, and they want to run around by Fiona. And that's fine because I can see them when they do it, and they're in an electric fence. So, they've got the pasture fence on one side, and I know where they're getting in and out. And they only did it once we opened up the pasture because they have access to that side. And I could have fixed it, but no harm, no foul because they never got outside of the electric fence. And there was no issue with Fiona. I mean, they go running by Fiona while she's sleeping, and then she jumps up and she's like, "What is going on here?" And then she just goes back to bed. Aunt Fiona is the coolest aunt in town. Yes, we are. The days are getting warmer, but there's still a bit of a chill in the air. Going to start some planning as I want to expand the veggie garden. That's awesome, Annie. Good deal. Hey, Heather, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Andale. Hope you're doing well. Did you get your AC fixed, Ann? I hope so. So yeah, but they're fun. They run around, they get the zoomies. And pigs do this funny thing that always makes me laugh. And oh, wonderful, Anne. I'm very happy to hear that. Good deal. Um, they're funny because they run around, they get the zoomies, they play, they tussle, all that stuff. So adorable. And then while they're doing that, they're moving a million miles an hour, and all of a sudden they stop and they go like this because they see me. And it's almost like they play that statue game like you did when you were a kid, and they're like, if I stand still, you won't see me. But yeah, they're really, really cute. Sweet, sweet boys. So Piggly and Wiggly will be leaving a week from Sunday is their pickup day. And so the screaming will begin tomorrow night when they realize they're not going back to mama. So we'll take them out in the morning, but they'll, like I said, have an electric fence, and they'll have a setup right outside the house so I can see if they're there or not. Which is good because the electric fence, I mean, we just at this point we don't need it because there's no grass, so we want to take it down. Their vision is based on movement, just like the dinosaurs. LOL. They're so funny. So what are you guys up to this weekend? I know what I'm doing. I'll be cleaning a chicken coop tomorrow because it's going to be 71 instead of upper 50s, 60s because we need it to dry the same day with a fan. And if there's low enough humidity, it should be dry enough by then. But we're going to pressure wash it. We're going to spray it, get new bedding in there, get the dust out of there. So the good news is it'll be ready for winter from that standpoint. Because as you know, chicken dust is disgusting and adds up. Same old here for Spartman. And Dale we have the Grands over tomorrow for a sleepover. That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm debating about trying out some call ducks. I hear that they're loud, Spartman. That's all I know about them. I know nothing else. A friend of mine has them, and she has to clip their wings because she prefers to do that because they do take off and fly around her neighborhood. And then I've heard they're loud. So Heather said trying to move some stuff in the house for the oldest daughter and grands to move in next week. Very exciting. Yes, Andale, exciting and exhausting. Very true. Very true. Hey, Nancy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Yes, grandkids are way, way more fun than kids ever were. It's so true. We do, Annie. We do. We do have a bunch of toddlers in the pig pen. These two just all they do is run around. It is so funny. They just want to hang out with the coolest auntie ever, and that's Fiona. And then they try to nurse on her, and they're like, "Wait a minute, you're not my mama." but we'll get this too shall pass. Not the end of the world. It could certainly be worse. It's just stuff that's annoying and unplanned. So we'll deal with it and get through it. It could be a heck of a lot worse. But it's hard to believe that we are already at August 9th. Um, I mean, August 9th. That's just crazy how time flew. I like the zoomies too, Heather. Good, Nancy. Glad to hear. Um, so yeah, so they will be gone a week from this Sunday is the plan, as long as they're eating and drinking on their own. And they've been taken care of. I'm sorry, they've been eating feed since 2 weeks old, so that's good. They'll be 8 weeks on a week from Saturday, and they'll get dewormed the day before they leave with an injection because I'm going to make sure they get it in this time. Um, yeah, it went way too fast, Lisa Colovi, way too fast. Sarah said, I'm in Missouri taking care of my mother-in-law after her mastectomy. Cancer does suck. I hope that she heals, and I hope that she is pronounced cancer-free soon. I really do. So hard. Um, but yeah, August 9th. We're still waiting on tomatoes. They are just slow, slow. I think it was too hot for them to turn and grow and multiply. Then we got cold in the 50s, and it's just so as soon as they blush, I've been picking them and bringing them in the house. Excuse me. Is it true you have to have a vet prescribe antibiotics for animals now? I have a goose that might be sick, and I really don't want to have to try and take it to the vet. Yes, it is true. However, there are things you might want to try, and feel free to throw out what's going on with your goose here. Maybe somebody could help you, Spartman, because the reality of it is I am in the same boat. Well, I don't have anybody who is going to treat a pig. I have one older vet who gracefully helps me when he can, just to give me some feedback, and he has given me medication, but he's not always available. You might want to try VetRx too, which is a product at Tractor Supply that a lot of people swear by. I have not used it. So if anybody knows, the goose is acting lethargic, trouble walking, having issues holding its head up. Does anybody know what that could be? Hey, Kill It and Grill It. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're hanging in. You've had some rough weather. Worried it's avian flu, and if it is, they come out and kill everything. I know. That's a lot of us worry about that stuff. You're welcome, Sarah. You're welcome. Just praying it all passes over. Yeah, we don't either. We had one that we ended up getting stitched up, and we were lucky to have that opportunity. But other than that, can geese get Merrick's disease? So Spartman, that might be something you want to look up. Thanks, Sage and Stone. See if geese can get Merrick's disease. Thanks, CB. Appreciate that. The other thing is go on backyardchickens.com, Spartman, and you can start a thread, or you can look at other threads that are there on that website. And I will tell you right now, I did put in there something for an emergency one time, and I labeled it emergency, and people got back to me right away. So definitely try that as well. Or you can look up those symptoms and Google it. But I know VetRx is, Heather suggested lice or mites. Let me look up VetRx, which is VetRx is used for all standard and rare poultry, including bantams, ducks, turkeys, geese, and game birds, for the support of healthy respiratory function. and it says made with 3.3% VV alcohol, USP. This proven mixture contains Canada balsam, camphor, excuse me, oil, oregano, oil, rosemary blended in a corn oil base. And I know a lot of people talk really good about that stuff. I've not used it. I stick with apple cider vinegar, but it's good to know. But Backyard Chickens, yeah, and that is a good site. I agree. It's called Vet. Hang on. Oops. Hang on a minute. Vet RX Poultry Aid. There it is, Spartman. I put it there. But I'm gonna take, yeah, yellow and orange box. Let me see here. I just want to take a shot of your so let's see. Goose acting lethargic, trouble walking, and trouble holding head up. So when I Googled it, it says a goose that is lethargic, has trouble walking, and trouble holding its head up could be experiencing a number of health issues. Newcastle disease, osteoarthritis, botulism, diet, which is like any sudden changes, neurological disorders. So I hope that helps. I don't have geese. Yeah, I know Tractor Supply has it. I'm sure Runnings has it. Whatever is closest to you, I would check first. This is something I would really like to know more of. How can we learn more about medicines for animals in case we can't go to the vet? Hold that thought, Heather. Hold that thought. I'm going to put this back up here so I don't forget. Hey, Rochelle Brampton Gardner. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Growing with Hudson. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're healing. You thought about botulism? What do you think you got botulism from? Oh, it's my pleasure, Anne. It's my pleasure. I know for me, that's like the most helpless feeling when you can't figure it out. Hey, Holman's Homestead. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Alicia, Strange Reality. So there's a good topic to talk about. Something you really want to know more of. How can we learn more about medicines for animals in case we can't go to the vet? I can tell you that I knew that that law was coming, and I kind of stocked up. I mean, not like Armageddon stocked up, but stocked up to have some things on hand, common antibiotics, like LA-200, some penicillin, and wanted to have that on hand because I knew that we were going to be on our own. There's some stuff you can still buy. One I'm not sure of, but it's for piglet scours. And the way that I got a new bottle was a friend of mine at a sheep farm, because I always have it on hand. And a friend of mine has a sheep farm, and mine was expired, but it was also the recommended treatment for lambs with scours. So she asked if she could borrow the bottle and she would replace it. And I said, you don't need to replace it. Well, she did. And I told her I was thankful because if I needed a vet, I wasn't going to buy it. So I'm glad that it worked out. So you found some birds in the, oh, I gotcha. Yep. No, that's true, Sparkman. It is a balance between the vet visit bill and the medicine, you know? That's why I say the poultry RX because the vet RX because it might be good to have on hand for your animals. For me, if I had a pig, I wouldn't mind calling a vet because it could save me a lot of money with my herd. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say it's different with chickens or geese, but for me it is. But I still don't want to have them suffer, if you will. And it's just like a real farmer mentality of looking at them. I'll do anything for them, but I'm not spending $300 on a vet bill for a chicken. You know, I'll put them out of their suffering. But again, we're in the same position with pigs. We don't have anyone to see them, so we do what we could do. There is a book, Heather. Hang on a minute. Let me just go back to the comments. Yeah, I feel the same way, CB. Hey, a little fish in the kitchen. Hope you're doing well. So there is a good book. Well, it's not. I want to put Heather's comment up there. I go by the Merck Manual, and I have a mentor that I go to for my pigs. I look at the Merck Manual because it's a veterinary manual, and I look at what's going on, what's recommended. Is it perfect? No, but you can get a free copy of it online and get some information on it. Hey, Barb's Country Home. Hope you're doing well. So, I mean, that's one thing. The other thing is I do have other pig books that describe things, but sometimes the symptoms overlap, just like they do with humans, where, say runny nose, droopy eyes kind of thing, they overlap. So you just don't know, because I know some of the symptoms Waylon was showing was not related to worms. It's the story guides, Gwen, Broke Cowgirl, the story guides. Excuse me. So I know that when Waylon was sick, I called the vet and I said, X, Y, and Z, this is what's going on. And a lot of his symptoms were just overlapping of another issue. And until he had some manure that we went through, then we saw what the problem was. Hey, on the plant, hope you're doing well, Tom. So yeah, so the Merck Manual is really good to have. It's good to have certain things on hand, like reference manuals, the story guides, like Gwen was talking about. I have one that I use. Mentors who help you with whether it's your cows or your pigs. Sometimes chickens, like I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, the only reason I know that our rooster is having issues is because we look at him all the time. We sit on the porch in the evening and I kind of look at their feet when they walk by. It's just a great way to observe what's going on with them. Excuse me. Good to hear, Tom. I'm going to drink. I'm dehydrated today because we didn't have water. Oh, good. I'm glad, Sparkman. Glad they have it. But it's one of those things, I just noticed that he had a couple scales that just didn't look right. They didn't look horrible. They just didn't look right. So then, of course, we have to wait until dark. We wait until dark to catch him because he's skittish. He's never been handled by us. We leave him alone because he's a very sweet rooster. He doesn't bother us. He'll eat out of my hand, but we also don't try to pick him up. We just leave him be. He does a great job. And so what happened is he went walking by me, and then I saw that, and then we go in at night to get him, and we got him right away. And he's got you can see it on the side of his foot. So he got dipped for 10 minutes in I think it was permethrin 2, which is what we had, and then we put the bag bomb on. So hopefully that works. And then we're gonna dip everybody after the coop is clean tomorrow, and then the coop will be all set. I hope the VetRx helps, Spartman. I really do. If you still struggle and you're not sure, you could always email me at yogihollowfarm20@gmail.com. I can try to reach out to somebody who has geese and see if they've ever experienced it. I'm happy to try and do that. Hey, Scott, Rambling with the Brums. Hope you're doing well. So, but yeah, it's always something, right? It's always something. But again, it can always be worse. It can always be worse. So we'll take what we've got. The other thing, Heather at Milk and Honey Heritage Farms, is I also take notes on stuff that we've dealt with and what worked well for it and what didn't. So, yeah, Barb, they say, so there's as with all things, some people are like Vaseline, some people are like no. But I dipped them in permethrin because you have to do something to kill the mites, or at least get them started on the kill part. And it was 10 minutes. And then I didn't have Vaseline handy, so I ended up using Bag Bomb because it was petroleum based. And he was pretty good considering he was not happy about what we were doing. So hopefully it helps him. But I'm all about natural stuff, but quite honestly, sometimes I find with the natural stuff that we treat with it and we end up delaying the inevitable. And I'm not willing to let them all get it. So they're all getting treated and treated quickly. Even those who don't have symptoms are getting sprayed with it and dipped. And after the coop's clean tomorrow, then they'll all go back in once it's clean. So sometimes I feel you have to do things because otherwise I don't want this mite thing continuing into the fall, and then it becomes a bigger issue because we've got deep litter bedding. No, we're getting this done now so they can be healthy, because I know that it's like blood sucking for them and it weakens them. So thankfully we caught it early. Hey, Broken Hearts Ministry, Gail, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple years ago, I had a chicken that looked funky and I thought she had mites. Turned out she did not, but I ended up treating everybody then. And, it was my mistake, but everybody was healthy. So that was good. Yep. Definitely preventative maintenance. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. I am all about that. I do have a bunch of those actually for the nesting boxes, but I'm actually, even though it's a pain, I'm actually kind of excited because this is a time of the year that, August, September, we try to wash out the coop, and there's so much dust on the little roof on the nesting boxes, and it needs to go. DE, yes, a lot of people don't like DE. I like it. And DE is really great about killing mites. What I read, now I don't have experience, I'm just telling you what I read. What I read is You cannot get up under the scales enough to get them because you can't see them. That's what I read. So they said that it was much easier to dip them in the permethrin or a rubbing alcohol bath. I chose not to do the rubbing alcohol bath because I didn't know the dilution. Whereas with the permethrin that I had the dilution. Yep, Electra PSP is great, just too expensive. And I didn't have it. I didn't have it. Hey there, Shannon, my little homestead. Good to see you. But I definitely, the coop will definitely be aired out and dried before they go back in. Lots of DE will go down as per usual. And hopefully we can move on from it. Again, not the end of the world. Thankfully, nobody else is showing signs right now. I would have really preferred to have done the coop today, but again, without the water, I'm hoping we get enough pressure by using the tank on the back of the truck hooked to the pressure washer. You know, without pressure behind it and just a gravity fed, you're not going to get a lot of pressure. So that's the concern. But we got to do it. I can't wait until a plumber finally shows up. So we'll do the best we can. So what are you guys up to this weekend? Some of you guys just came in. Why don't you let me know what you guys have going on this weekend? I'd love to hear. Thanks, Lisa Colovi. I use stall dry too. It's used for wet spots in stalls and can be composted. Ooh, good to know. Good to know. I wonder if I can get that locally. Yeah, our main goal is to reduce the dust. Obviously, get some of the walls cleaned where some of the, the chickens sit on the roost. I have one that loves to sit on the roost and it goes right down the wall. Oh, Spartman. Oh. Rise and Swine said, could it be a vitamin B or niacin deficiency? I raise chickens, but this is the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, that's helpful information. I know with ducks you can have that. Heather Milk and Honey Heritage Farms is going to do a little work outside and inside. That's cool. Barb's Country Home is still cleaning up after that hurricane. What a pain. Ugh. That darn hurricane. Hey, Tony, our cabin in the woods. Good to see you. Gwen says going to a huge estate sale in the morning. Gary went to the barn part a couple days ago and got some neat stuff, but the house part opens tomorrow. How fun. I hope you find good stuff. Gail planted a small fall garden. Good for you. I don't think so because all the birds get fed from the same feed, the purple stuff from Runnings. Okay. Growing with Hudson said I'll be healing for the next 5 weeks, but good thing I'm healing and well. Thanks to all for the prayers. Welcoming fall. Continued prayers for you, my friend. Heal up well. Yeah. Did you isolate the goose? No, you're not being a jerk, Sparkman. We know that. We know. We just want to help, that's all. And you just want answers. I totally get it. Barb said a lot of branches and a tree fell on our chicken run on our fence. Ugh. What a mess. What a mess. Okay, so that's good you've got it isolated. I don't always isolate right away either, because sometimes I think they heal better with their friends. It depends on what's going on. And when we had Waylon sick last year, we took the risk of not isolating him because we felt that he would do better with his brother than he would without. But we knew the risk. Oh, Gwen, I hope you find some good stuff. Um, for all I know, it's something I picked up from the water. Yeah, I worry about that all the time because we have a lot of crows that are in the pastures now picking up extra pig feed. We have Canadian geese that fly over for the ponds near our house, which I'm not thrilled about, but what are you going to do? And we also have like squirrels and chipmunks that are running around on the ground. So that bothers me too because you just don't know. Oh, and you had all that rain too. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Gail, thank you. I will check. Go ahead and make a video. Oh, you're too funny. Excuse me. Fixing 2 tires on our riding lawnmower too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the sparrows they're a pain. You never know what they're bringing. It's so true. So true. Have a great weekend, Nancy. Go rest. Rain in the morning for you, Gail. We gosh, I wish it would pour. Yeah, Spartman, if you still run into brick walls and you need help, let me know. I can reach out to the Instagram homesteading community and see if anyone can help and get you some information. Oh wow, Marcel. It's raining here now. Oh, okay, gotcha, Gail. Gotcha. Yeah, right now I'm running behind because we've been dealing with the no water situation and the other stuff. So I will keep an eye out. Um, don't forget, thank you, Lisa Colovia. I appreciate it. Um, don't forget we have Preserve Fresh going on. Hashtag Preserve Fresh. It is a collaboration we are hosting, and I am totally laid back about it. Um, it is all about preserving food that you grew or food that you purchased locally. Uh, and so I did a video today. It was reducing our reliance on the grocery store one step at a time. And so it's all about preserving fresh and taking that produce and dehydrating, freezing, blanching and freezing, turning it into other things, dehydrating, canning, all of that stuff, and preserving it for another time in your future. So definitely join in. If you guys want to email me, I sent the I will email me at yogihollowfarm20@gmail.com, and I will just forward you the email and you can join in. Again, I'm laid back. Use the hashtag and mention us, and obviously we have a playlist, so if you tag me, I can add you to the playlist, and I also have a logo, an easy logo. So awesome. Awesome, Gail. Thank you. And yes, Rochelle, food you got off the neighbor's tree is perfect. Oh, Gwen, I'm sorry to hear that. 2 feet of water in his basement. Yeah, some folks in Maryland and northern Pennsylvania got some really bad stuff. Yeah, Rochelle, feel free to join in. Thanks, Gail. That's awesome. And thank you, Heather. Hey, it doesn't get more local than that, right? Oh, wow. I just replanted my trellis garden to my garden coop out front. Cool. Exactly. Exactly. We got like a sprinkle the other day, but it was like a few drops in the bottom of the rain gauge. That's it. I don't know if other people who got it, but it's been a wild week. Earlier in the week, if you guys watch when we're on Mountain Grandma for her live, I was supposed to be on her live with Gail on Tuesday, and I got a phone call that morning, right before the live, that said, "Hey," and this is a friend of mine who had just purchased a herd of pigs from a lady who needed to rehome them. And she called me up and she said, could you call me back because we have piglets?" So we were over there helping her set up a space and making sure everything was well and all that stuff. So she had an unanticipated litter of piglets. She only had the pigs about 5 or 6 weeks. Um, and they were really, really cute. And so today we went over and showed her how to do the iron shots because they got iron shots after birth. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Adrian, Indiana Backyard Gardener. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for putting out your video for Preserve Fresh. I appreciate you joining in. Those blackberries looked incredible. So yeah, so it was pretty wild. She had piglets. And then Thursday, I thought this was funny. Thursday, somebody who came and it was interested in piglets a couple years ago, but they weren't ready, had reached out to me and said, if you have piglets this year, let me know. And I reached out and said, hey, one wasn't bred, the other two were sold, so no piglets this year. And we got talking, and the next thing you know, she says, I used to garden in Minnesota and it was so easy, but gardening here is horrible. And I said, oh, I know it. I said, we had the same experience. So I offered to have her come over and share some of the things that I learned on Thursday. And we spent a couple hours walking around the garden. So it was pretty cool to be able to share what you know. And of course, she's at over 6,000 feet. So she's at a higher place in town than I am. And I said, you got to keep in mind, it may not work, but she's had hail destroy everything. She's had the frost on June 19th was, I think at her house was 25 or 26 degrees and killed everything. June 19th. That was when we had the tomatoes in the greenhouses. So crazy. And we had to cover everything up. So wild. Tony at Our Cabin in the Woods has 2 10-week-old Berkshire piglets I need to sell. So if anybody's interested, reach out to Tony at Our Cabin in the Woods. I don't think you'll have a problem selling them, Tony. Even if you have them until adulthood, I think you'll sell them. No problem. Especially Berkshires. Yeah, Gail, June 19th. And then tonight they had the 40s forecasted. We've been in the 40s. But they said, the weatherman said he wouldn't be surprised if we made it into the 30s tonight. Hey, Annette, the Cow Emporium. No worries, no worries. Never late, my friend. Never late. But yeah, so it was cool to be able to share that knowledge with her and share what I've learned, what works, because she was totally following all the rules for gardening. So I said, you can follow all the rules for gardening, or you can break all the rules for gardening. The reality of it is either way you can fail or you can succeed. How long is the frost-free season? So we used to be 4B. They changed us to 5A, which is a crock of garbage, because Rich in Minnesota at the Old Swedes farm is 4B, and he has a lot longer season than we do. So usually they say that like June 10th or 11th is our last frost, and we can have first frost mid-September. However, last year we had like mid-May to beginning of October. But this year we had June 19th. We had a frost. I think we had 30 degrees. But she had like 25, 26. And so we'll see. We had a lot of 90s in July, or upper 80s and 90s in July, and it was hot. And the tomatoes just didn't seem to do much at all. But yeah, I think quite honestly they base it on the coldest temps, but I think it's a crock of garbage because it just doesn't match our area. It doesn't match our area. And I think that's what's hard about it is because we're like a microclimate because we're at 5,318 feet. She's over 6,000. Um, and I do know from where I am to where she is, there's a huge difference. Hey, Maple Cook, my friend, hugs right back to you. I just want to go back to the comments. I love Berkshires too. She does have, she's got not a high tunnel, but she's got hoop houses with plastic, and they just get blown away. Hail went through them. Oh, I felt so bad for her. I felt like I was talking to myself the first year. No, I am not doing September. Nope. Are you, Barb? I am not. I don't usually do it. I'm not big on soup. I like soup, but yeah, you should be zone 2 in it. Yeah, we're really high in elevation, and if you go out from us um a little bit, it changes. It's really wild. Yeah, Gwen, that's why it blows my mind because we definitely have colder temps than Rich in Minnesota. So I know it's not about the growing season, it's about the temperatures, and I know we have him beat, with the temps that we hit, because we hit -30 a lot. Auctions sometimes have high tunnel kits for great prices. Yeah, we've been looking. We've been looking. We've actually been looking for another carport frame from the auction. In fact, there's a live auction, not an online one, a live one. I think it's next week we're going to. So I'm pretty excited. They don't often have those. So, but yeah, I had a conversation with her and I said, excuse me, I said to her, I said, here's the deal. I said, what I'm going to tell you is what I've learned. I said, that doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. I said, and you have to understand the fact that I pack everything in my gardens very tightly, closer than square foot gardening, I told her. And she said, oh, well, that makes sense. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, because you have to realize you're taking a risk. You could lose it all to disease or bugs. I said, but I'm willing to take that risk. I don't know. I'm kind of funky about doing lives at that kind of stuff. Yes, -30 Fahrenheit, Maple Cook, and we've had as low as minus -50. So usually it doesn't last long. It's high bid auctions, Spartman, but we do it through a local auction house. So that way we pick it up from them and we pay them. Cramscaping. Yeah, I do cramscaping. Absolutely. Yeah, it's high bid auctions. And the auction house is, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on them. Hold on. Bradeen. Bradeen auction. Yeah, Ryan wants to go look. I don't want to look at anything. But he's cheap, so -50, I'm Canadian and I've never experienced that. And I don't wanna. I don't wanna either. I don't wanna either. My dad used to go to car auctions when I was a kid. Cool. All of my garden beds are empty except my peppers, darn webworms and the hurricane, but my front porch is full of all kinds of herbs and pepper plants. Well, good. I'm glad you're doing what you can. Yeah, most of ours are online. Most of ours are online. Yeah, I know. I used to be that way too, Smart Man, but now I let them. Or I always let them, but now I understand why, I think is what really I'm trying to say. I won't buy too much at a live auction. I don't even look at the online auctions half the time. Ryan does, and I just let him handle it. He's better at it than I am. I want to go to an animal auction. That would be a problem. Annette, not gonna lie, the idea of going to Alberta kind of scares me, and by kinda, I mean a lot. Oh, Maple Cook, you are just too priceless. Surrender the checkbook to her. We have money versus a yard full of valuable antiques. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. I've been to auctions before. I've been to really large, like they were out in fields where they were doing equipment auctions and stuff like that. That was really cool. Um, we do the online, it's more convenient. And then I don't know why they're having this one, but they're having one live. So we're going to go to that because he's looking at a few items. So if there's animals there, we're going to have a problem. But it's so crazy. So crazy. Yeah, they're fun to watch. They're fun to watch. I read a story. I don't know if it's true, and forgive me if I don't get it completely right, okay? um, I read a story about uh, a rancher or a farmer or whatever you want to call him. He had land, large amounts of land, and hey, living my best life at 60. He had large amounts of land. For some reason or another, one large plot was separate from the main stuff. And I think it was in Nebraska. Excuse me. So there was a family falling out or something to that effect. Okay. And he lost the one plot that was separate. So he went to find out what he needed to do to get it back. And him and his father sold so much stuff of their own to raise money for this. And they did. So the two of them walked into the auction to bid on it and see if they could get it back. And so when they walked in, the auctioneer started raffling off or starting, what are you calling off, for the plot of land. And every farmer in the house was silent. And the auctioneer kept trying and trying and trying to get somebody to bid, and nobody would bid. And they want it back. So again, whether it's folklore or whatever, my heart stopped when I heard that. And I could get a mental picture of people sticking together and supporting somebody like that, which is what we need in this world. And I thought that that was really cool that they saw that they bid and everybody was silent. And the auctioneer just kept trying to pull people in, pull people in. Nobody did it. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And again, if it was folklore, I don't know, or if it's real, I think that's freaking cool. And we need more of that in this world. They did that on an episode of Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, I love it too. I love it too. Like it got me all choked up when I read it. So I thought it was really amazing. Um, because to me, that's just standing with one another. How incredible and how moving is that? Oh, and they got it back. So that was really cool. And we definitely need a lot of that good stuff in this world these days between storms and political upheavals, and all of that. And I will see if I can find it. I think it was Nebraska. We do have the power, Tom. I agree. I agree. We do have the power. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine what a sight that would have been? Oh, I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that. It makes me think back to like the gas shortages that we had and all that stuff in this country. And it's like, if we would have just stopped buying gas, it would have fixed it. Would have fixed it. My mother told me some story about coffee. Something about coffee went up really high and people stopped buying coffee and prices came back down. Hey, Connor's Curiosity, I hope you're doing well. World is crazy. The comments on Instagram posts lately is driving me around. People are unhinged. I don't get it. Yeah, exactly, Tom. Exactly. We have so much power, and so much power that we can use for good versus evil. And that's just so needed in this world. Thanks, Spartman, for letting us know. But so we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we will get the water back on Monday. That would be nice. But at least my shower by the back of the truck in my t-shirt and shorts worked out really well, and I feel good because I got the hay off me. Oh, wonderful, Anne. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear. I think I got most of it right. If not, I'm sorry, but you get the gist. Flow it to the intake. Huh. I don't know what you mean, Tom. Intake to the house? I'm going to say, because I showered by the back of the truck. I didn't have a problem with it. I had a t-shirt and shorts on. Oh, Spartman's gas. You guys are too funny. You guys are too funny. All the comments about gas. What can I say? I'm a giver. Beans will do it, but for extra fun, I can do cabbage and Brussels sprouts. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. You guys are too funny. All right, guys. Well, I got the farmer's market tomorrow, and then we've got to do everything we can do. Hopefully the chicken coop will get cleaned because we need it. But like I said, not getting enough pressure from the tank, gravity-fed tank to the pressure washer is going to be a bit challenging. So, but wish us luck. We hope to get that all fixed because I'm done with dealing with some things. So, have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Love to you guys. Spread kindness, spread cheer in this crazy world, and stay safe, okay? Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.